gentlemen, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. I am your host, Data T, and this is my channel, The Good Guys. Guys, today's story comes out of, looks like Sacramento, California, and the title reads, Loud Music Complaint Led to Deadly North Sacramento Shooting Involving Disabled Veteran, Neighbors Say. It's not uncommon for veterans to always, have guns. Not all of them carry, but it's not uncommon for them to carry. So, before we get into this, guys, if you don't mind, leave it a like, leave it a comment, subscribe. Remember, we are on the road to 1,000 subscribers, and I know we can get there with your help. So, leave me a like or hit me up on Twitter, on Minds, even on Truth Social, guys. Okay? So, without further ado, let us dive into this story.
Telling us a complaint about loud music ended with 2 men dead.
That's right, and this happened early this morning near the area of Kelton Way and Main Avenue. CBS 13's Tori Apodaca joining us live with the crime that's left many neighbors there reeling, Tori.
That's right. Like you guys said, we know that 2 men are dead, and this happened just feet away from this neighborhood. This is Kelton Way. You can see that there's no longer the investigation going on out here right now, but neighbors tell us that they are just grieving the loss of one of their own right now and terrified that this happened so close to home.
It's tragic. It's just really, the whole block is shocked.
A disabled veteran in a wheelchair, known by his neighbors to walk his dog here every morning.
The guy's car was stopped, and the windows were down. He was playing loud music.
Just before 6 a.m., we're told the veteran asked the driver to stop blasting his music. Then, multiple neighbors say the driver ran over the veteran with his car, and the veteran pulled out a gun and shot the driver.
There's obviously a lot of moving parts to this. There's a lot of stuff that we still don't know.
Sacramento police have not confirmed this is how it happened.
Is the subject still under the vehicle?
They arrived on scene. They found 1 man was dead with evidence of a shooting. Police found another man suffering from at least 1 gunshot wound at a different location, who they say then died in the hospital.
We know at least one.
Okay, let's stop it there. Guys, it makes sense to me that all types of people have firearms, okay? If you don't remember, I did a story a while back where there was a man in a wheelchair. This happened in Texas, and he had a firearm as well, okay? You'll find it on my page here. Veteran in wheelchair shoots would-be robber who targeted him in Metro, okay? And this was in Texas. That was in Texas, okay? But if we go back to this story, okay, I find that in some cases, sometimes the neighborhood goes to, let's say it goes to shit when there's certain people in the neighborhood. I'm just going to go ahead and say it. Sometimes if you get some unruly black people, okay, they'll mess it up. Some unruly Latino people, they'll mess it up. Some crazy white folks, okay, will mess up your neighborhood as well. But coming through the neighborhood, blasting your music, okay, you are disrupting a little bit, okay? Even in some cases where you have maybe a highly modified car and it's so loud that it wakes up all your neighbors, you are disrupting the neighborhood, okay? All right? And I don't know, now that I have a community, that I've been here for a while, man, I don't want stuff to upset the peace, okay? So I don't like people that upset the peace, and I am that type where sometimes if I see a joker who's speeding down the driveway all the time, I'm gonna question him. I'll do it in a way that's respectful. I'll say, boss man, there's kids here. Please don't do that. Okay? But you see, things like that are in some case dangerous. And I'm sure it all depends on how the veteran said it to this particular individual. boss man, can you turn your music down? Or maybe he said it in a different way, coming from the military. Hey, why don't you quit playing that loud ass music? It could have gone either way. And they decided to run him over. And the veteran, which is not confirmed, but they're saying that the veteran took out his firearm and shot. What I'm thinking, what happened is the veteran, he probably died in his wheelchair. The particular individual he shot ended up at a hospital, and that's how it went. Now, they don't confirm that this veteran died. Maybe they will in the story. Maybe we'll go down and read it and see if they did or not. But that's what it sounds like to me. And I gotta tell you, people are sometimes unpredictable. And this is the reason why you should have a firearm. This is a very sad case that he could have got, that he just got ran over, that they would do that. What type of person would do that? All he's asking is for you to turn it down. And you decide to run him over. Huh. Let's see what the rest of the story says, guys.
One person was shot. I don't, as far as how the other person died, we're still looking into that.
Besides tire marks on Kelton Way showing the donuts from sideshows, people don't see a lot of trouble happening here.
Everybody knows each other. It's quiet. There's no problem.
Investigators have been busy lately in other North Sacramento neighborhoods. A deadly shooting on Lampasas Avenue on June 12th and 2 dead in a drive-by shooting on Clay Street on June 13th. But could Tuesday's shooting on Kelton Way be connected? Police say no.
We don't believe that at this time that this is related to any of the other violence that we've had, unfortunately, in our city.
Many neighbors here say it was only a matter of time before the violence happening across Sacramento moved here. But this doesn't make the loss any easier.
Nice guy. He's disabled in a wheelchair, and everybody loves him.
Those 2 men who died have not been identified yet. Obviously, still a lot of unknowns about what happened out here. And that's why Sacramento Police is asking you if you saw anything, know anything about what happened here on Kelton Way this morning, to call them.
I love the fact that HelloFresh always.
Okay, so they don't even confirm that the veteran lost his life. They don't say that in there. Even in the story below, they don't talk about it, and I wonder why. Okay, it's a sad case, guys, but it makes a case that everybody should be armed, right? How do you police your own neighborhood? How do you come off with some authority without using your firearm? And I, in my opinion, you should be polite to everybody you meet. And in this case, I mean, it's a case where police will, especially if a police officer knows that neighborhood, he doesn't know that car, and then he rolls through the neighborhood, and then the police pulls him over. It's like, hey, look, I haven't seen you around here before. What are you doing here? I think it's valid. And in fact, I'm going to tell you, I would prefer a police officer do stuff like that. That is a police officer who knows the neighborhood, who is actively doing something that I call preventative policing. I love that. So I don't have a problem when a police officer pulls me over and he says, you know what? Hey, I've never seen you around here. I'm just pulling you over just to see, what you're doing here. And then I will say it. Especially, I'll tell him, hey, I was doing this. I came to see this person, and now I'm leaving and I'm going home, sir. He said, okay, no problem. And it happens to me a lot. I will tell you. I have no problem with it. I love that. Okay? So, in this case, guys, it was a neighbor, and he asked him to turn down his music, and the whole thing blew up. Crazy. Crazy. So what can we learn from this story? I'll tell you, does that mean you don't ask? No. Maybe there's some tactics involved so that when you do ask, you are maybe behind a barrier, or maybe you are in an area where he cannot run you over, or all kinds of things pop up when you deal with person and cars and barriers, tactics all over the place, and it's something. But yeah, sad case for this veteran. I hope he lived. I hope so. 2 people died, and that's tragic. We don't advocate for death. We never do. But we love when people use their firearms in the defense of themselves and for others, because that's what good people do. And if there were no good men, if there were no good people that stood up and did things for just the sake of being good, where would we be? We would have no good men, and there would be no good guys.